Fight, and we really enjoy the show. So my question is, my wife and I own a trailer on a piece of property. We own the property. This is not a trailer park. It is, however, a homeowners association. There is a lake, a gate, a clubhouse. It's really nice, and we paid around 32.5 for this place about 8 years ago. It's now worth about 90. However, no one will loan us any money on it to buy more property because it is a single wide. So we are wondering if there is a way to get our money out of it and keep the property because we make such a nice ROI on it without losing the property. Any thoughts or advice would be helpful and great.
Thanks, Chadwick. So I understand the difficulty. Single wides can be a little bit more difficult than double wides for pulling out equity in the property, but I'm wondering if you just haven't expanded your net to look even further because some banks just may not be interested, but you need to look. I mean, banks right now are sitting on so much capital. They've borrowed so much money from the federal government at incredibly low interest rates. And yes, they are willing to make money off of these low interest rates by maybe giving you a mobile home equity loan at a 5 or even 6% interest rate. So it might be a little bit higher and they will do it. You just have to look for it. I know it's a little bit more difficult because it's not a double wide, but it is usually based on the size and the size of the home or the single wide and of course the land itself. And typically, they're not going to give you a loan below $10,000. Like, that's just not even worth their time and the paperwork to get it done. And so normally, and this is an opportunity for you to get anywhere between $50,000 and $60,000 in a loan because you said you have about $90,000 in equity in this situation right now, which is great. So again, you just need to shop around. There are different companies that do mobile home lending programs. I would just look more nationally on these through different websites. I mean, just even like jumping around some different websites, looking at some of the different clearinghouse websites that do home equity loans with even if it's like with low income. So if you have an excellent credit score, if you've owned the mobile home and you have a loan on it, you have to be 18 years old or older. You must have an income source. I'm just reading off some of the criteria here from one of these particular lenders. And you have an ability to repay, for example, proof of income with pay stubs, investments, and tax returns. There is no reason, though, that you shouldn't be able to find one of these mobile home equity loan programs. You'll need to provide several documents, property information like property type, purchase price, address, purchase date, the estimated value of the property, your personal information, obviously marital status, social security number, et cetera, your income information, your W-2s. They're going to do a whole body cavity search, proof of hazard and homeowners and flood insurance, and of course the two most recent documents from your tax returns and any of your K-1s or LLC documents as well as that. But again, I've definitely heard of people being able to do these home equity lines of credit but they're not called home equity lines. They're called mobile home equity loan programs. They do exist. They are harder to find. It is easier to do it with a double wide than it is a single wide. In fact, we had a guest on the show a number of years ago who talked about some of this strategy, and then his name escapes me off the top of my head. But nevertheless, it is obviously much more difficult to do this because it's a riskier investment, and banks look at it as a more risky endeavor. However, if the equity is there and you prove the income and you have the wherewithal to pay it back, and they will check it through an appraisal process and the whole 9 yards, then they are willing to lend this money. Again, they are borrowing so much money right now from the federal government. These banks are flush with capital and they're getting almost nothing, 0% interest on these loans that they're getting. They want to be able to lend these out in the form of mortgages. They want, even if they're going to put it at 5 or 6% because it's a slightly riskier investment loan for you, they are going to do that. They are willing to do it. You just need to shop around and search for it. So I hope that helps. I don't have a bank that I've ever used for mobile home loan equity programs. Otherwise, I would share that with you. So I would just recommend connecting with some of your local real estate meetups. Check out some of the different banking forums. Check on lendingtree.com is another good one we've had great success with, and see if you can shop around for different loan programs that are out there. But don't think that you can't find it. there's absolutely a way. And you may even consider doing it privately. That's another option as well. Through a local real estate meetup, you're going to find private money. Say, look, I've got this great piece of land. I've got a mobile home. I'd like an equity loan on it. Are you willing to do like a 5% personal loan for us? And I'm sure you'll be able to find something. You just got to be a little bit more diligent in looking for it. I hope that helps, Chadwick. Personal loan, private loan, and some of these mobile home equity loan programs, they're out there. It's just going to take a little bit harder time finding them. I know it's not easy. So thank you for those questions. If you have a question for us here on the show, you can absolutely leave us a voicemail. Just go to morrisinvest.com/Clayton. Click on the little button there where you'll be able to record up to a 30-second voicemail question for us. Keep them short and sweet, and we will attempt to answer them right here on the show. Until next time, everyone, go out there, take action, and become a real estate investor. I believe it's the #1 way to build wealth. We'll see you next time.